We're the House of Yah Community Outreach. We are a full-blown nonprofit registered here in San Antonio, Texas. However, we minister to the whole country, even to the whole world. We even have a couple of members even in Australia, way down under. And if they can read this paperwork upside down, you guys can certainly read it upside up. Anyway, before I get too deep into the call, I want to introduce you to Angela Stewart. I would love to tell you she's my right hand, but it's right here. That's certainly not the case. But if I did happen to lose this thing, let me tell you, the first person I'd probably call regarding the ministry is her. So I'm going to turn things over to her. She's our director of marketing, and she has really just been on top of everything and trying to streamline this thing and get me out of the cave, because that's where I've been. And so she's trying to help me out with this. So I'm going to turn everything over to Angela. All yours.
Where I go.
Go ahead, Angela.
Hey,
Hey, Peter.
So you wanted me to share my screen.
Yeah, if you go down there at the bottom where the little red turn off in the middle is, you're going to see that little screen, and it has an arrow that's pointing to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that.
Okay. I did.
Okay, and then it should show up your whole computer screen. So click your whole screen.
Can you see it?
It'll take a second. She has better internet than I do, so it should be better. No, I don't see it. Do you want me to pull it up?
You can, yeah.
Okay, maybe it's reserved for.
My systems may not be properly done. It said something about my systems, so I need to go in there one day and just redo my system.
Awesome. Well, I'm just gonna pull up the link here.
So the music should play.
Yes. Oh, you got the music to play. Fantastic. Here we go. All right. And this is what you're going to see now when you come to our page. Those of you guys that want to check out the page, it's House of Yah, communityoutreach.com.
It's supposed to be playing. Well, anyway, I'll work on that.
I guess somebody really did crash that train.
I guess so.
That's the name of the song.
It sounded good. It was really good when I was putting it in. But anyway, so I'll work on that. And on your end, it looks like a couple of things are kind of blended together up there. But see, those two right there is blended together. But anyway, we have a new logo, the House of Yah Community Outreach. And so very proud of that. And we've got all these tabs: home, purpose, contact us, shop. In the shop, we're going to be updating this on a regular basis. So we're going to update the shop and things like that. So if anybody wants to contact Tim, they're going to go to contact us and go down there, and they can email or call, but they're going to have to make an appointment before any workshops are going to be able to be scheduled. So if you know anybody that is looking for a workshop of any of those items in the workshops, if you want to go to the workshops, it'll list it. Can you go to the workshops?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing a couple of things at one time. Workshops.
Sorry. Workshops.
Doing what I'm told. Practicing. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So the consultations for the workshops, it's about 1 hour is what it's going to be. When they book, it's going to be either with me or with him. So we'll be just talking to the people just like we did, when we began to do ours.
So
other workshops, I'm sorry.
Well, let me just put it out there. So what she's saying is we'd like to interview everybody so that we can manage your experience. For example, we had a UCC trust class where we had 2 folks that were in there that had special need adults that they were taking care of. So because of that, we spoke more about that sort of thing. And what we try to do is match everybody up to the right class. So if we have some thoroughbreds that are really ahead of the game, like Peter here, we got somebody like that. We've got a little different class regiment for them. And we try to just put you in the right class so that you can be successful. We don't want to lose anybody or leave anybody in the smoke, right, Angela? I think that's the idea, right?
That's correct. That's what you were telling me. Yes. The workshops, if anybody has any questions about the workshops, just tell them to go to this website. They can
Okay.
go directly to workshops,
Yep.
and
Do
it'll
that.
give an overview of what each one of them will offer.
Right.
And each one of them are all the same price. They're all 6 hours to take. He'll set up a schedule with each person, but it actually lists. You can see it lists the Zelle and the Venmo that he's going to be using for payment.
Right.
So all of that information is down there for everybody to be able to see. So if you know anybody that is interested in trust or discharging their debt, those are the main things that people are wanting
Well,
to
and travel and driving. Don't forget, we have that coming up. And that's tonight's topic, actually.
hmm And so I haven't put the events schedule down there yet.
Okay.
But when you get a definitive time schedule on that, I can drop that in. And
Okay.
then everybody
6 to 9.
will have, that schedule on there. So
Okay.
that's just an overview. There is a few more tabs up there. There's a
Oh, yeah.
there's a gallery on there. Yeah, must see videos that I would take them to actually see some of the things that he has placed on here. I've grouped those together so that you can get a good idea about some of the things that are on the living without contracts.
Right.
And so it also looks like it gives an overview of him. And is that your child?
That's my son.
And that's the son. Okay.
Well, that's my
So,
son I haven't seen in 15 years. So if you guys want to know what I had to go through to learn this information, this young man right here was one of them. And
mm,
so I can tell you, I paid a big price for this information, and it doesn't come cheap. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so kind of, if people accuse me of being hard up about these false teachers, that's why, because I paid my dues, and these people haven't. But anyway, I'll give it back to you, Angela. Go ahead.
well, we appreciate what you're doing because,
Thanks.
not everybody is going to be, forthcoming on information like you. Trust me, because I've asked questions and nobody wants to answer. So, and I'm sure that he has told you about the purpose of all of this. And the purpose is for all of these workshops, they're going to help fund the project that he's working on. And it's not going to be just in Texas. We're looking to be all over the place.
That's right.
And as you can see, whenever we went, when you pulled the website up, it showed that he's supporting um, the adult and teen challenge.
Right.
So that's a pretty big deal because they are a big deal. They help a lot of people.
Yes.
And his purpose, your purpose, Tim, I know, is to help the veterans.
That's right.
So, and the homeless. So I think that that's a very good purpose, and that's why I wanted to become involved. I
Well,
am
let me.
volunteering my
let-
time, so if anybody else has any skills or anything and would like to volunteer as well to come up with some great ideas and things like that to help,
Mr. Barry.
let me know or let Tim know, and we can plug you in.
That's right. Well, let me, and I want to expound a little bit more of what we're doing in the big plan. The big plan is this: is that we're trying to build a small city, a small place where our vets can come and just get better. I'm not interested in transition necessarily. Although some people may transition and maybe transition in and out. Some people, this may be home for them, and we owe it to them. For any vet that's out there that's homeless, and a lot of times, and I talk to a lot of homeless vets all the time. We feed them. We do, I try to make as much contact as I can with them when we're outside the house. And one of the things that I hear the most, or I guess, is that they've just been through so much, and they know that there's so much BS out there, and we know this because we're all waking up to this, that they would rather have nothing and have honesty in their life. And that's a righteous man. And those are the kind of people we need to get after, because those are the ones that Yahweh is coming for. Yahweh is coming for his people very, very soon. And not like those hellfire and brimstone preachers were teaching 30 years ago. We're seeing the river Euphrates drying up. We're seeing all these things happen. So with these things that could happen, there's a lot of people talking about more homelessness. What are we going to do? Well, you know what? It's up to us. It's not up to the government to take care of these homeless people. It's up to us. It's up to us. And the purpose of my ministry is not that this is a front pocket ministry by any means. This is a ministry that's legitimate. All of your donations are tax deductible. And there's no smoke and mirrors with us. We have the support of Teen Challenge, and they are one of our partners, and we're going to be supporting them until we get a building. So right now, all of our excess, which is most of everything, is going straight to them, and that's what we want to do. So yes, we'll go ahead and share a link for the site. If it's House of Yah, YAH, communityoutreach.com. So House of Yah, YAH, communityoutreach.com. Thank you. And thank you all for your support. So it's all right. So it's going to be good. Thanks, Angela. You're amazing. And she's doing lots of great stuff for everything. And there's no reason to stop sharing, not just yet. So tonight, we're going to be exposing some false teachers. I'm going to tell you, like I said, I paid a lot of dues to get this information, and had a lot of really bad days and bad nights. But I had to have closure. I had to know what they did to me. I lost my kids. And not because there was any drinking going on, not because of any vast criminal history, and not because of anything other than I came into that courtroom literally 2 cents short of everybody else. And I don't think any man should ever have to feel that way. No man should ever have to prove that he's a good father or prove that he's going to be a good father to anybody. I think it's just it should be based on performance and performance only. And unfortunately, that's not the way it is. But see, we're only taught that there's a legal side of things. We're not taught about the equitable side of everything. And that's what your teachers aren't teaching you. See, your teachers will like to talk to you in circles. Yeah. Tonight, we're going to be looking at this guy. This guy's really popular. Okay. I invite all of you guys to join us on Uber Conference so you can watch this. Okay. But those of you guys that are out in TikTok land, you'll get to hear it. And I'm sure you're going to know who he is. And we're going to be interviewing 2 of these little fruitcakes tonight. And I'm going to be picking these things apart and showing you why these people are fraudulent and how. And at the very end of tonight's call, I'm going to give you the absolute surefire way that nobody has ever told you. Nobody. I guarantee you, nobody's ever done this. Beat a ticket. And if anything, at the very least, it's totally going to stretch your mind and you're going to laugh your can off. So either way, it's just good information. Trust me, I'm going to make it good tonight. All right, so let's look at this one right here. People do not need to call at 6 o'clock. And this is what happens, by the way. This is normal. So, you hear this guy? Shh. All right, hold on a second. First off, he's trying to answer a question of how to get rid of a traffic ticket, okay? That's the first thing he's trying to do. He's trying to hold on a second. All right. So wow. I don't know why. I don't know how we ended up on that. That was weird. But anyway, let's get back to there we go. Hold on a second. So the question is how do we get rid of a traffic warrant if he will not give it to me or he will not endorse it? They don't deliver traffic warrants to anybody's house. So right there off the bat, we already know they're out in cuckoo land. Let's keep going. Yeah, okay. Okay. Now, if you look around and just take a good look at this cat, he's a little tired. Okay. And you know what? Yes, you should judge people a little bit on how they look. Okay. Not completely, not make it, but here, if you're going to put yourself up like this is what you get. So, and
No
what are you going
audio,
to do if
Tim.
they don't? Hello?
Tim, there's no audio.
Oh, you're kidding. No audio at all? Oh, that stinks. Oh my goodness. No kidding. There's no audio at all. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. Hold on. Stop it. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. So you're saying there was no audio at all? No.
I didn't hear any. No.
Oh my goodness. Hey, thanks, Sean. Thanks everybody for joining. All right. So I know. I'm checking my mixer. My bad. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's see. How can I get to this? Hold on a second. There's another way. There's another way. Just another wire away from making it happen. Hold on. Okay. Give me just a second. Sorry about your ears, everybody. Really sensitive microphone. All right. So unfortunately, we're just going to get some audio. I don't think we're going to get any video. Let's see how this works. Okay. Okay. So just bear with me, guys. The one I'm talking about is Lawful Patriot. He's on TikTok. And for those of you guys that look, he looks like this. He's got some scraggly little teeth, and he's probably in his 50s. Single, clearly. Not a real kept kind of person. But anyway, he's telling us to take you to the private side and do all this stuff. If you listen to what he's talking about, he asks. So the question is that how do you get rid of a traffic warrant? Let's see if I can do it this way.
Agreement which proves they are an agency of government. Use these exact words. You have to adjust them because I'm saying it, but you get it. Demand to see a bona fide warrant for your arrest and the affidavit.
Hold on a second. Now, number one, they are not going to show you the bona fide warrant for your arrest. They're just going to arrest your butt. Okay. Let's just be real honest with each other and let's just stop. You guys can hear me or no? Sean, you're waving at me. Is it good? It's good. Okay.
David in support of warrant. Then you have a friend fill out a certificate of mailing.
Now, hold on a second. Why are you going to go get your friend to fill out a certificate of mailing? Just put a pause on that and think about that, okay? Because this makes no sense. But go ahead.
He mails it to them 3 times.
And what friend is going to do this for you?
Between mailings. This allows them 3 days to get it in the mail, 3 days to hold it, and 3 days to return it. Plus,
no, this is called being a vexatious filer. Okay? When you send stuff like this and you get your friends to do it for you, as what he's saying, now you have collusion. And you could be charged for this. Okay? You want to completely blow up your cases? This guy's not even there yet. Or I'm sorry, he's trying to handle a warrant. That's not going to get it done. Hold on, guys.
2 days, because Sundays are not a day in law. You can't count them towards that. No one's working. Everyone's worshiping some God. So then you take those 3 mailings and you group them together with these certificates of mailing, and you do a second affidavit. This one takes you from the private side to the public side. The second affidavit.
Now, how does all this stuff take you from the private side to the public side? Have you noticed he hasn't explained any of that yet? He just says it does, and you're just supposed to believe it, and that's it, right? And just follow the trance. Keep going.
It, you have it notarized. In it, you say, I mailed this on these dates, and they haven't responded. With all that paperwork,
Well, hold on a second. Now, if you have a warrant out for your arrest, you're in complete dishonor, and nobody has to answer anything for you. You don't have any rights because you're on the run. And they're not going to do this stuff for you. It just like I don't know what cloud this guy jumped off of, but hold on, let's continue listening.
you have the notary public notarize it. Then you bring the stack of paperwork to the county recorder. You have them authenticate it and stamp it received.
Yeah, and then when you get to the county recorder, they're going to arrest yourself. And then you and all that paperwork are going to jail. Hold on.
Now you have two witnesses on the private side, you and your friend, and two witnesses on the public side, the notary public and the county recorder. You take all that paperwork again with the stamps and notary, and you file it with a motion to dismiss as attachments. Get a court date. When that court date comes, you put all that stuff into evidence. Now, here's something no one else will tell you to protect yourself. Before your first affidavit, make sure you sign void where prohibited by law. If you didn't watch this whole video,
All right. Did you notice how he said that if you didn't watch this whole video? So one of the things that you're going to notice about these false teachers is that they always talk in circles. Do you notice how he took you and said, file this, and then file 3 of these, and then you go from the public to the private, and you're this and that? It's like putting a rock in a cup and moving it around with a bunch of stuff. Did you notice that? Yeah. Peter says the same thing. Peter says, when he said, go to the county recorder, I had the same thought. And I don't know anybody with a warrant that's just going to walk in there and say, oh, I need to get a court date. So, and listen, can I tell you, come take my class on the 23rd and the 24th. I will show you how to get rid of these tickets. And it won't be just all up in the air. I actually have a whole file of them full of winners. It's right here. And I mean it really. So those of you guys that are new, there you go, out there in TikTok land. There you go. So do you see that right there? Do you see how the stamp is right there? One of the things he was talking about was public and private side stuff. Okay. Number one, we don't have court in courts. Okay. Number two, if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll never be in dishonor. So I can tell you the fact that he had a warrant already shows that there's acceptance between the parties. This is something I'm going to teach you about. This is something you're going to learn. And here's the biggest thing. Do you know how they took my kids from me? You ready to hear? I'm going to tell you this. Equity. The law says you can't interfere with a parent-child relationship, right? But yet they do it every single day now, don't they? How? Equity. They get you to accept something. When you get a ticket and you sign the ticket, you accepted it, contracted. You can't dishonor these people later. You can't come up with some David stuff, voodoo magic, and walk in there and say, I'm here under special appearance. Because number one, if you're here under special appearance, you're not going to be in your person. And I got a whole file full of them, of special appearances. Here's one right here. Alamo Heights, Texas, right here. There you go. You see? Another stamp on there. Well, so what does that tell you? See that post stamp right there? What does that tell you? It tells you I know a superior jurisdiction that they're not using. Or I understand the jurisdiction that they are using. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say, I want to fight against this and fight against that. Look, if this system is tough enough to enslave this many people, and most of them don't even know it, there's some real thinking behind this. Okay. And you're not going to go in there and beat it like this. You're not going to do it this way. You're not going to go in there and rewrite procedure and they're going to listen to you. There are no magic words that you're going to say that's going to say, okay, you got me. Okay. It just doesn't exist. They're not out there. I'm going to play another one to you too. Well, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to tell you that if you're going to listen to any teachers out there, okay, make sure that they actually can do it. Make sure that they have cases, real cases, like their own cases, like mine. Okay. If they can tell you that you can get on the do not detain list, tell them to prove it. Prove you're on the do not detain list. Who tried to arrest you and something happened? And what you'll notice is those guys that say that they're on the do not detain list, they're the ones that get arrested the most. Derek Gonzalez. You guys heard of that guy? He's always in and out. What cases? The cases you don't have. That's what cases. And another thing too is that, you know, some tragic things happened in my life. So I had to learn this process, because if I didn't learn this process, I would go out like a punk. And I might be 5'6", but one thing I am not is a punk, and I'm nobody's punk. And I just couldn't have closure. I couldn't do it. And it fought for me for many years. See? Sean's never been arrested and I'm on the list. Oh, that's great. And I'm glad that you are. And that's awesome that you made that choice to do that. But you need to make sure that the person that taught you how to do it actually did it. If you can look it up and you can see your own David file, you know, look up your David file. You know, and you know what? And check these guys out. Check them all out. Okay. Google their names. I mean, all you have to do is Google David, that guy, and you're going to see he's never had a court case anywhere. Never. So he has no reason to study for anything. Oh, you're on the list to be arrested, Sean? All right. See, that's why he doesn't get an invite to my class. Those little hell raisers, we leave them at home. I'm just kidding. He can come to my class anytime. But I saw a video where a sheriff ran a passport and it came back, do not detain, do not interrogate. Okay. I saw somebody run mine and they decided to interrogate me and arrest me anyway. And guess what? The whole police department's been defunded and the two idiots that arrested me don't have jobs anymore. Anywhere. And that happened after they changed jobs. Yeah, I found out where they were at and they don't have jobs there anymore either. So this is what I'm saying. You've got to meet somebody that's been through the struggle, that knows how to do this stuff. And the way that we handle our stuff in the private, as Doopity Doo over there was saying, is that we do it privately. Okay. Let me tell you, there's a magic number of 3. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. When you have your witnesses, one of his fatal errors is that he said 2. You bring your 2 friends. 2 friends don't do anything. Take my travel class. I'm going to show you how to hold court, and not in somebody else's living room, but you'll do it for real. Have you had any luck with the IRS? That's a good question, Rob. Okay, well, what kind of luck are we talking about? Like casino luck? Or have I filed 1099s and gotten my refunds and all that kind of stuff? Is that what you're asking? Anybody? Just gonna leave me hanging like that? Anyway, that's cool. I'm reading these comments up here in TikTok land. Yeah, brother. It's not really getting over. Okay, Rob, to get away from income tax, that tells me that you are still doing your boss's taxes, and that's the only side of the tax table you understand. So yes, I did figure out how to get away from that. It's very simple. Stop filling out W-9s. If you stop filling out W-9s, you'll no longer be obligated to pay taxes. But while you're filling out those W-9s, you're contracting away your right Do it. Now, if you understand why you're doing your boss's taxes, because that's what you're doing, you're not doing your taxes, you just get a little prize for showing up. But when you do your boss's taxes and you realize that and you realize what they're doing to your straw man, maybe you want to be like your boss and maybe you want to do something with the straw man. You ever thought of that? How's that for a nugget? Is that good? Should I file a W-8-BEN before filing a UCC? Hey, brother, if you're not in my class, I don't think you should file any of it. I don't teach anybody to file any tax forms themselves. Do you know why? Because you're not qualified, and I'm not either. So why not just give the 1, 2, 3 list? Make somebody else do it that's bonded and insured so you don't go to jail. You ever thought? Just saying. Come take my class. That's what I do. Okay, so the W-2, and you filled out the W-9. I'm sorry, not your W-9. You did fill out your W-2 when you filled out your work. I'm sorry, I meant W-2. Sorry. All you W-2 employees is who I was talking about, and 1099 employees. The other question is here, is a secured carded creditor a good option? You know, again, if you're reading one of these books like the 2.0 and the 3.0, if you just stop. Yeah, you need to really get an understanding of what you're doing. You need a much bigger nugget. Haha, cool, man. I got you, brother, and we'll help you out with that. Heather, you are on point with what I'm hearing you say. Well, thank you, Heather Rose. That's very nice. Thank you. Too sweet of you. Awesome. So, so tonight I want to talk to you guys about travel. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the driver's license. Okay. I want to talk to you about some of the fatal faux pas that are out running around about the driver's license. Here's one of them. Anybody told you that you need to go and sign all UCC, all rights reserved through 1-308 or whatever on your driver's license? Anybody ever told you to do that? Run, run the other way. Those people are going to be in handcuffs in years if they did. A couple of years, they keep that up. And here's why. You're the authorized representative for the straw person, are you not? So why wouldn't you just sign the license? If you got a contractor's license, you'd sign that one too, right? If you got a license to drive a forklift, you'd sign that one too, right? I would, because why not? It just permits you to just do some commerce. That's all. What? Okay. So somebody is asking me, they said she used the 1-308 and it worked. What did it work on? What ticket did it save you from? What police interaction did it redeem you from? I'm going to tell you none. And I just know because I woke up in 2015. I saw all this stuff happen. So respectfully, okay, because I know your heart's in the right place. I know you're trying to do the right thing. Here's what teachers will do. Teachers will make you do stuff backwards, completely backwards, just to keep you busy. Like we were listening with this guy with the 3 pages and the 11 days apart and all that stupid stuff. Yeah, it doesn't contract with anybody. Scott was saying that. He's right. He must have taken my travel class. Your driver's license doesn't contract with anybody, and you don't need to rescind your driver's license. You might want to make a living. You might need it. You might need I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well rescind your dog license too. And then he can just have, then the pound will come pick him up and everything else, I mean, hey, look, it's all about this. Can I tell you? Your straw man is the one that's getting you in trouble. Has nothing to do with the living person. These people that are telling you to commingle things, yeah, that's a word. Put that in your memory banks. Commingle, bad idea. Public and private, don't mix. I don't care who it is out there because they're not living it. If they're telling you that it does, and I heard somebody, and actually he's had some good nuggets from time to time, but I heard some, I'm not going to say who it is because he has had some good information. But I heard somebody maybe just had a bad day or something. I don't know. But he went on a rant and said that there's the public and private blend all the time. I was like, you better stop it. You better stop it because they don't. The public is this, to be very clear to everyone out there. The public is everything that everybody else can see. When you do something privately, like with your partner, like when you take your kids on vacation, who do you let know? You let know a few people in your network. Hey, we're going to be leaving. You might even call the cop station. Hey, we're going out of town. Watch the house. Huh? See, that's moving in the private. Now, if you put an ad in the paper and said, hey, Angela's going on vacation next week and she's got a 72-inch TV in the living room waiting for you. So we'll see you later. That's commingling your public and private, and you might have a problem. You guys feeling me? It's really just that simple. So your public, in dealing with these tickets, yes, the straw man puts you in a jurisdictional situation. Okay, the straw man puts you in jurisdiction. It puts you in their jurisdiction. Sorry, we lost that young lady, but I mean, it's okay. She probably got some bad programming. I hope not. Let's hope she comes back. I think she was on the road, or she was almost with us. But just stay with me, you guys, okay? Okay, because it works. Stop listening to these people that don't have any fruits. That's exactly right. Scott said it right. That's exactly right. The driver's license is just another, it's a bond. It's an equitable bond. Would you like to access that equitable bond? So why you wouldn't rescind it? Here's another one. Get your birth certificate authenticated and go through all that trouble, spend it, and sign the back of it, endorse it, and go file it with the clerk of courts. Why? Why? And I mean, and if some clerk of court filed it, I don't know why they would have filed it. Yes, he says, no, my dad always told me, don't call me, go on your private in the public. That's right. That's right. They don't want your stuff out in the public. So when we move privately, that means that we move with governmental witnesses. Okay, a lot of people out there are telling you to put postage stamps in and cancel them with your signature and stupid stuff like that. Dude, you don't work at the post office. You don't. I mean, and if you do, then use the round dater like everybody else. And if you don't, then go to the post office and just pay for it. That's what you're doing. You're paying for a witness. And you got a governmental witness. See, that changes things. So one of the things I'm going to teach you guys how to use is this firm mailing book. And the firm mailing book is where court is held. It's behind me somewhere. It's in a mess back there. But it go through my videos on TikTok, guys. You can see it. I put it out there. Okay, it's a big fat book with a whole bunch of postage in it. Yeah. But what it is, it's proof of contracting.
That
And
brings up, I'm sorry, that brings up a question of mine
Go
because
ahead.
I have even paid somebody to go around to all these post offices and try to find a firm mailing book. They do not have any in the Jackson area, the Pearl area, Rankin County, or anywhere. They said they're not using them anymore, or they can't find them, or whatever.
Welcome to the
So
private.
I found a sheet that looks like a page of it. Can I go and get that copied and just make a book?
Look at Peter. Look at Peter flying his flag over there. You see that? You see that, don't you? You see Peter's got his over there? Yeah, Peter Z. Hey, say something,
trying to
Peter,
help
so
out.
she can see you. Okay. No, you have to say something, otherwise your picture doesn't come up.
Yeah, can you
Peter.
see it now?
I can see it now.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Yes. I have been trying to find one of those. A girl told me the girl from the post office said she was gonna get me one. I went
Yeah,
back
they'll order you one.
and they gave me that other thing that I showed you.
Yeah, they tried that. They do that with everybody. I know, we've seen it. They do that to
I don't
everybody.
even know what this is. I mean,
That's for registered mail. That's an
she gave me
in-house.
this.
That's an in-house book for registered mail tracking. So when you send something registered mail, it goes to every post office on the way from here to there, and they record it in that book. That's what that book is for.
So anyway, they
She
didn't
sent
get
you
me.
in a hole.
So can I use that use a piece of paper to get it printed and make my own book?
Yes. Yes, you actually can go online and look up form the form. It's 3788, and you can print it off
It's 3877. Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
whatever.
did. Yeah.
You can do that, and you can do it
Okay.
that way, and just keep and then just scan those in and keep them on a digital file, and that can be done too.
Unless
Um,
I can find somebody that's somewhere else that can find me one, like Tim
oh, I think we just might.
Anton. I need to.
And Shannon was saying that his dad retired from the Sedell post office, and may be able to get you one. See, so Shannon,
Perfect.
see, so throw your email over there in the comment box. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
Yahweh.
a bunch of motions. See, and that's why we do this. Is well, oh my gosh, I missed all these messages. Ooh. All right. Well, is the meeting over? It's only just begun. No, we're good. I'm really glad that you guys are here. Welcome to the call. All of you guys that just got in. Yes, it is Central Time, Texas time, because here in Texas, we think the whole world revolves around us. That's why we live here. It's true. Really true. It's kind of psychotic in a crazy way, but it's true. All right. Oh, wow. Sean is asking me, did I get any teaching by Patrick Devine? Yes, I did. And here's what I learned about Patrick Devine. He will send you down holes that have no end. He will talk in circles. He will cuss you out. He will make you feel like that you are interrupting the most important part of his day possible. And he is the most unpleasant person to get information from. And here's what the Bible says about people like that. If you want to be wise, you got to be humble. And if you don't see humility in your teacher, run fast. Get away from him. What call are you doing? Yes, I'm doing a call on Uber Conference out there in TikTok land. It's uberconference.com/freedom school. All right, man. I'm glad you guys are all in. All right, let me get going down here, get caught up. The 2 lists is enough. 20 minutes. I don't know what that's about, Scott. Sorry, I missed that one. All right. Yes. So I can tell you that Patrick, so when he talks about buying a car, you know, how to go in the bank, how to go buy a car and how to do all that. Guess who did that? I did. And it was beautiful until they figured out that I didn't have the right account open to negotiate that instrument. And that's what Mr. Devine did not tell you. That's why we got to do the 4th class tax equity and discharge. We're going to talk about that stuff because I've been there. Spent 23 years in the car business, 8 years as a finance manager. I was a 2-time Blue Oval Award winner. And believe me, I was very big into the business and really learned the business. Actually, I'm an ASC certified technician. I've worked at the back of the house. I've been a service manager and I've been an F&I manager. Believe me, I have been all over the dealership and seen what it does. My grandfather used to own a Ford dealership here in San Antonio, by the way. So yeah, don't file any of these W-8 BENs. Don't file any of this tax stuff. You know why? Because you're not a tax person. Let somebody else do it. How do you get to that account? Oh, you know what you do? You stand out on the corner and send them 90 sheets of paper and make sure you put stamps on the back and initial it, put a hole on the left side. It happens every time. This is the kind of garbage you hear from these teachers. Don't listen to that stuff. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. And here's the proof in that. The question was, how do you get into that account? Explanation point. And you know, that's a really great question, but the real answer to that question is this. If it was that easy to get into your account, like everybody else says you can get into it, don't you think they'd be getting into it by now? You'd be ripped off by now if they knew this stuff and it was that easy to get in. They would have ripped us all off by now. Oh, they already are doing that. That's right. Yeah, but they don't go in like that. They have to go in and get bills passed, and they have to do stuff in there. Can you be a trustee for your spouse? You can be. Here's what you should be. You should be the secret weapon for your spouse. You know what? You know who that is? That's the successor trustee, and then executor after you kill them off on lifetime. Just kidding. My wife watches that stuff all the time. It's like, God, babe, you gonna kill me tonight or what? Anyway. True. So it's all false. Yeah, it is. These guys are all just pumping you guys up because they don't want to apply themselves. They didn't want to do all the things that they were supposed to do. So now they're just trying to backdoor everything in their life. And I'm going to tell you, this is a real sickness with people here nowadays. There's a lot of failure in this country nowadays. You know, I had a student, unfortunately of mine, that sent me some paperwork that, you know, it got kicked. And as a matter of fact, it didn't just get kicked, but they claimed it as being a fraudulent filing. And do you know why? I hope you're on the call tonight, and I'm not going to say your name. Because you didn't listen in class. There were things that you should have omitted out of your paperwork, and I told you to do it, and I told you to listen, and it didn't happen. And because it didn't happen, that's why they're looking at you like that. So if I were you, I would withdraw that and tell them that you need to revise your paperwork. You need to go back and listen to the recording, or maybe just come and take the class again. Those of you guys that are interested in doing that, I have a UCC and trust class coming up on November 5th and 6th. That's right. It's going to be a 6-hour class. It's going to be phenomenal. I know my mic has it's a condenser mic. So condenser mics are really sensitive. They pick up signal from 360 degrees. So that's why you'll hear some of this. So if I move this mic around, it's going to make noise. So I'm really sorry. I apologize. I'll try to get something better. But I just didn't want to be all talking down here to the bottom and nobody see me. So that's why we're doing the Price is Right thing today. So I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know, though. All right. Let's see. Annie Jones says she'd love to get the firm mailing book as well if someone could help me with that. Annie, come take my class. And I'll show you how to get the book and I'll show you how to use it. Okay? I'm going to tell you, these books are hard to get. And you got to say like the magic words and then they'll say, okay. I literally had a student here in San Antonio go to a post office that I go to like all the time. And everybody knows me there. As a matter of fact, I'm afraid to go in and ask for a mailing book. I may have to order one from the main post office or something because she might be seeing me on TikTok. I don't know. Anyway, here's Angela. Freedom School, right on. Yeah. Anyway, so, and I don't want to talk about how much the class is, guys. Just look it up. Okay. I don't like to talk because it's just like it's money stuff. And like, again, public is public, private is private. These are private classes. The donations are private. If you want to retake the class, though, let me know. Obviously, you don't have to donate the whole amount again. Don't have to do that again. Well, she's saying that I got a young lady here. She says, listen, if you need to set a private class with me, you can do that. You can totally do that. Hey, I got people that drive trucks and, you know, they just have really odd sleep schedules, or I have people that work all night long. I've done classes at 2:00 in the afternoon. I don't have a problem with that. Just get with me. Let's have an interview first. Let's make sure that what you're looking for, I can provide. And most importantly, I know what your expectations are so that I can fulfill them. I certainly can't speak them tonight, that. But anyway, I like to have these interviews because I like to make sure we're touching the right bases. I want to make sure that if you've got a custom or a certain situation that's going on, that we can address it. So how do you set up an interview? Go to the House of Yah, communityoutreach.com, House of Yah, communityoutreach.com, and just go into contact us and you'll see a spot in there. You can click on the contact us screen and set up an interview. Or you can email me, at seekgodfirst130@gmail.com. Seekgodfirst130@gmail.com. Go ahead, Angela.
Are you on TikTok now?
I'm on TikTok
You're
too.
talking about?
Yes,
Okay, I'll get on
I'm
there
on-
and I'll post it on there.
I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok right now. All right.
Okay.
All right. Just TT Energy Company AB using credits from remittance coupons to pay. That's all. That's different stuff. Hey, man, glad you're here, Keith. Good to see you, buddy. Love those pictures, man. I'll tell you what, man, that guy takes the best pictures ever, man. He really does. He's up in his plane and he takes them. They're just like the best pictures ever. So I love those pictures. You guys that are my pilots friends out there and students, send those pictures. I just love seeing them. Any glimpse of Yahweh or where he's been is just like amazing. I just love it. I get all giddy and stupid about it, but I love it. Any other questions, comments? Love you too, man. You guys are awesome. Scott says, so do you think there will be any money left by the time we get control? Can I tell you, we don't have any money. What we do have is the ability to contract. So in this particular case, wow. In this particular case, awesome. Wow, thanks for the appointments. That's awesome. I'm sorry. In this particular case, yes. We're gonna, if you guys, those of you that take the UCC class, we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about what happens if the dollar crashes. What happens if, 666 comes and we need the mark of the beast and all this other stuff. Well, what if I told you that the mark of the beast might be just the social security number? Try to go to work without that number and see what happens. Maybe we do need to put the straw man away. Maybe we need to read our Bibles a little bit. I don't know. Actually, I do know. I shouldn't say that. I don't like to leave open-ended questions like that. I'm not Barbara Walters. All right. It said, I got a real important thing I want to ask. I got a friend that is trying to take her house for fees. That's a good question. Oh, HOA fees. Well, that's a contract. So what you might want to do is assess the fees. Yeah, here's a free nugget for you. Send them a 1099 miscellaneous for your HOA fees from last year or 3 years back. You can go up to 3 years back if you want to. Just call them and tell them you need their W-9. Tell them and pay them. Go ahead and pay them. Okay, Scott, pay the stupid HOA fees, man. But make sure you get that 1099. Make sure you get their W-9 first. You need their EIN. Yeah. One of the things that you'll notice when you start assessing these things, and of course that's another class, but one of these things that you'll start notice when you start assessing things like this is that things will get cheaper. You ever notice how rich people don't pay that much for stuff? I go to the commercial grocery store and steal it. I mean, I can buy a whole case of really good chicken fried steak, man, just battered and ready to go for less than $1 a patty. And it's premium. I can buy carrots so big, you would think there was something wrong with them. And we don't ever see those in the grocery store. I mean, they're massive. They're like 4 inches. They're big. Why? Because the public gets all that, because the public gets the trash. And the private, they get everything else. They get the good stuff. Does it have to be that way? It doesn't. Awesome. All right, Doc Holliday, we'll see you in class, buddy. They don't pay for anything, really. They just don't use their money. Yeah, well, can I tell you, it's an equitable system and it's tricky. But let's get back to the travel class. What we're going to talk about in the travel class more than that, this other stuff, because that's just chasing leprechauns. We're not going to go there. If you can't pay them, that's why they're taking their house. Oh. Scott, I'd go loan him some money. I would go find somebody that has some money and you could just pay it. You're going to have to. That's what contracts do. And you can't do anything in dishonor. And here's why you can't do anything in dishonor. The minute when you do something dishonorable, Yahweh will not, cannot, and will not stand by your side. You're completely on your own. And we need that grace, guys. We're not that smart. I'm not that smart. I'll tell you. So I'm going to tell you there's a right and wrong way to do things. And I invite you guys to take these classes. These workshops are absolutely amazing. They're going to change your life. They're going to change the way you look at stuff. You'll actually want to do taxes. Can you believe that? Yeah. You'll laugh at people when they say, "Did you get out of paying taxes, man?" You know why? Because they still think money goes from one bucket to another. And that's not how it goes. Those of you guys that learn this stuff, Yahweh will be with you. Those of you guys that are waking up, that comes from Yahweh. There's going to be so many people out there. They're going to try to show you things that just, quite frankly, aren't true. And they're so incredible. And it's so exciting. But I'm going to tell you, they're going to bring you a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. Roger, I'm not talking about taxes. We're done talking about taxes. We're talking about travel and driving tonight. That's right. That's what this call's about. That was just a little sidetrack that we went there on. And like I said, and respectfully, people think about stuff like that. And so, there's a spirit that wants to get you off topic. I'm sorry, Scott. Scott, schedule an appointment with me and we could talk about that. That sounds like something we need to talk about privately. Schedule an appointment with me. It's free. I'm happy to do it. And and if it gets to the point where I just got so many appointments I can't talk to anybody, I'll let you know. But right now, that's not the case. Not saying I want it, but saying it's just not the case. All right. Any knowledge for John Little and Greg Paul, Sovereign's Way? They speak about staying in honor. I have no idea who John Little and Greg Paul is. I don't know. Sounds like a front pocket ministry to me, respectfully. Sounds like a couple of lonesome cowboys out on their own. Is there a different now that's a question. Way to go, Doc Holliday. That's a question right there. And if I was handing out stuff tonight, I would totally do it. Is there a plate for it? Sure. And I did it too. I perfected it. Here, you guys see it? Here's an old faded plate. Here's a newer faded plate. Yeah, look, I did it. Yeah, I did it for 2.5 years. Your teacher done that? You know how many tickets I got? 0. You know how many times my car got impounded? Keith Little? 0. David Parsons, do you know how many times my RV got searched or impounded or even stopped? 0. And here's why. We did it right. Awesome. That's what we did. We did it right. And there's an honorable way to do this, okay? But the trick is that they don't teach you about half of it. You're just looking at the law side. You're not looking at the equitable side. And this is where they trick you. You're welcome. Thank you, Doc Holliday. Awesome. Glad you guys are here. Listen, we're rolling down towards the end of the call tonight. And I want to talk to you. Yeah. Oh, yes. Douglas, all workshops are recorded, brother. They're all recorded. And I thought I sent you a copy of it. How do you know about Russell J. Good? I don't know. I didn't know that I knew him, but sorry, Heather. It was kind of an open-ended comment there. I don't know what to say about that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But awesome. I just want to thank all of you guys for tonight. We've had a wonderful call tonight. I want to thank Angela for coordinating everything and doing what she's doing over there because she's awesome. Peter, one of you guys throw her a book out there so she can go to the post office and tell them that they're lying, please. Come on, do it for her. You guys get an email address, something. Oh, well, ask him for some proof. No, I'm kidding. I had somebody today that was hitting me up about that and saying, well, I need this and I will and I need that. I'm like, did you ask the guy that told you this originally, all this kind of stuff? Probably not. No. Oh, he's not a postmaster of anything. You know what? These guys in their postman. You can't be a postman. Why not just use the one we got? I'm just saying, at least you could verify who he was at some point, in a court case. If he's his own postmaster, I'm sure that everybody knows that. And since it's private side stuff and you're using the postmaster to deal with public side stuff, you see how that doesn't work? That's where equity, law and equity separate, literally separate. Law and equity. Yeah, law, equity. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. And Heather, get an interview with me. Let's talk. Come on, I'm going to clear this up for you. I promise I will. It's really simple. Stop listening to these cuckoo birds. If they got bad teeth, if the background around them looks a little shady, if it's a front pocket ministry, up 7 o'clock. But do you remember I told you I was going to give you the surefire way to get out of a ticket? Do you remember that? You ready? Write it down. It's about to get good. No, Heather, I'm not judging you at all. I know you're just repeating other information and just stuff that's out there and just testing it to see if it sticks to the wall or not. I know. I understand. I'm not judging you, Heather. But come hit me up for an interview so we can fix this stuff. Trust me, we can fix it. So, okay. You guys ready? So what happens if, so I'm going to give you some Tim Dameron voodoo court magic. You ready? And this will actually work because it has. All right. So first of all, I want to talk to you about impeachment. We're going to go a little over tonight. So when you impeach somebody and their testimony is impeachable, it means that they're full of it. Yeah, it means that they're lying. So what does that tell you? You better catch them lying, huh? Ready? Set? All right. So the first thing you do is you walk up, you ask the judge, say, Judge, do I have the opportunity to qualify the witness? Officer. And in New Mexico, they're idiots. Like the cop is the prosecuting attorney and the cop. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is the biggest conflict of interest I've ever seen. Ridiculous. I mean, does he cut grass too? Get chicken? Just checking. Anyway, so here's what you do. You qualify the witness, right? First thing you want to ask this officer, say, is it your policy to get involved with civil matters when you have your uniform on? He's going to say, nope, we stay away from those civil matters, right? Okay. So my next question is, have you ever been involved in any kind of civil matter while you've had the uniform on? Any kind? Nope, it's never happened. All right. Well, if somebody were to ask you today, have you ever been involved in a city matter? You would probably tell them what? No? Would that be the right answer? Of course, I would tell them no. Your Honor, are you aware that this traffic ticket, because there's no corpus delicti, that is simply a civil matter and there's nothing criminal going on here? And this officer says that he's never been involved in anything civil. So either his testimony is impeachable now, or the testimony on this ticket is impeachable. Either way, I'm moving for dismissal. And it works. You like that? You like that? Huh? Huh? Any of your other teachers taught you that? You know why? Because they had been in court. Like I said, what do cops always say? Hey, we don't get involved with that. We don't get involved with those civil matters because it's civil. And it's always civil when you want them to do something for you. Yeah. The minute they want to do something for you or against you, or they'll even get involved in your personal fights. I've watched them on cops. They're like, well, you know, the ma'am over here, she actually is really correct. And maybe you ought to really work with her. Or you ever seen the cops show up with CPS and they're all over there trying to reason with you about why the CPS person needs to come in their house? What's that? It's like a civil matter to me too. Oh no, we're just here to keep the peace. I think you are the peace of. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You're right. I might come off a little bit crazy, but it's okay. It's okay because these guys will just consistently lie to you all day long. So understand it's a game of tricks. It's a game of plays and knowing where you are in that courtroom. That cold, shaky feeling that you're feeling, that's because there's people in dark robes playing Halloween around you. And do you know why they build temples? To keep things out. That's why Yahweh doesn't show up. I tell that people a lot. Yes, I do, Heather. And I know this stuff. because I've had to pay the dues to get them. Okay, I had to. And so when I hear these flaky teachers jumping out and taking people's money, like seriously, I've heard of people teaching the secured party creditor thing for $7,000. How could you even sleep at night for that? Seriously. Why isn't he in jail yet? Maybe he is. Hey, what's up, David Parsons? I see you finally threw a comment here. You must have been sleeping. Did you hit the snooze button? It's good to see you, buddy. We are crazy, true, and genuine about is why we are here. Well, David, you got to stop selling those plates. I'm going to tell you right now, those plates are a bad idea. The $35 plate club, I've been talking about that for years. And here's the reason why. Because I love you to death, dude, really. And so I want to just give you the straight skinny. When you put that on your vehicle and your vehicle's designation has not been changed or updated, you're just rolling dirty. Because all they have to do is run the VIN and they find out that the state has legal title to that vehicle, or some state does, and you have what is called equitable title. That means that you get to sell it and they get to keep it. So if you drink too much, they don't need you to endorse the title to take your car away. They just take it because they can, because they own it. So you got to change that part of your contract. You can't just roll dirty like that. And this is why this stuff doesn't work. This is why we have to be diligent. We have to study and show ourselves approved. And remember that wisdom doesn't come from a man. It comes from a righteous man because of the things he's done. But the mouth that speaks it is a mouth that's humble. And that's me. And I have been humbled by this system. This system has come after me, trying to kill me. And I'm still here. No smoke. Absolutely hate it when people call me in the middle of a call. Anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful night. We're going to close it down. Thank you for all the wonderful comments there out in TikTok land. You guys have been exceptional, every one of you. And I want you all to know you're not crazy. Just Yahweh is trying to talk to you. And he's not in a church. He's not in your heart either. Okay? He's in the things that you do. He knows his children because they're obedient. See? That's how we know our children, right, parents? We know our children because they don't do stupid stuff because we taught them better, right? At least I hope you did. Yahweh is the same way. If we're out doing stupid stuff and we're not obeying him, he's going to cut you off. He's not going to give you the sight to see. I have the sight to see only because I humbled myself, not because I'm a super smart guy. I want you guys to remember that, okay? I hope that Yahweh blesses your evenings, blesses your day tomorrow. Do something good for somebody because they deserve it, and you deserve a blessing too. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Again, we'll see you guys next week. It's going to be Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you come on tomorrow night's the next week's call and you get hung up on, or you're sitting in a waiting room for a while because the call is locked, it's because there's a class going on. And I hope that you're in it. So if you guys need to get an interview, get in the class. I'd love to have you. Just remember that all benefits, all the money goes to the House of Yah Community Outreach. And whatever we're not using, which is not much right now, is all going to Teen Challenge. So please continue with your support. We thank you for everything. You guys be super blessed. Remember that Yahweh loves you so much that he gave you this knowledge. Don't mess it up, guys. Be blessed, everyone. Good night, everyone.
You got a few minutes for a quick call afterward?
I can give you a call afterwards. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good night.